CatDog Lost Episode by Terra91. Hello everyone. When I was a little girl, one of my favorite Nicktoons was CatDog. I'm sure you 90s kids remember it. A fairly comical show about a pair of Siamese twin brothers, one a cat and the other a dog. They lived in a house with a wise-mouthed blue mouse named Winslow, and they were constantly bullied by a group of dogs known as the Greasers. According to records, this show first aired on April 4th, 1998, and ended with an unaired episode on September 22nd, 2004. The series was created by Peter Hannan. Being a loyal follower of the show, I was rather disappointed when I found out that the series was cut in 2004. And like most people, I hadn't seen the unaired episode, which I found out was titled Vexed of Kin / Meet Dog's Friends. One day, while browsing through a local yard sale, I came across a DVD in a plain clear case. It was obviously a burned one, as it was the Memorex brand. It had CatDog, For the Birds, messily scrawled on it in black Sharpie marker. I've never heard of this episode. It must have been some kind of mysterious lost episode. I knew I had to have it. I asked the woman in charge, who was somewhere in her 40s, how much she wanted for it. She didn't know. It belonged to her son, she said. So she went into her house and brought out a young man, probably in his mid-20s, who was apparently her son. He was very thin, pale, and had deep dark circles around his eyes. He looked malnourished and like he hadn't slept in weeks. I showed him the DVD, smiled politely, and asked, how much? He gave me a look like someone who was in shock and terribly nauseous at the same time. What? How did that get there? Never mind. Just take it. I felt kind of bad for him. Maybe he reacted like this because he was feeling ill and was trying to sleep when his mom brought him outside. I gave him a kind smile and told him I hoped he would be feeling better soon, then said farewell. I dashed home, eager to view my new DVD. I sat down in front of my TV and popped the disc into my DVD player and pressed play on the remote. At first, there was a minute of pure static. I thought this was very strange, considering this was a DVD and not a VHS tape. I had experienced static on VHS tapes in the past, so that would have made sense. I could have sworn that for a millisecond I saw a face in the static, and it felt like I was being watched. After that, it cut to the opening theme. I smiled, enjoying the feeling of joyful nostalgia that comes with watching one of my old favorites. Once it was over, it showed the title card. It was plain white lettering on a red background, with what looked like crows in the background. The title said, For the Birds. The episode started out with Dog stretching and yawning before cheerfully proclaiming, "It's a beautiful day!" Then he heard a familiar sound. "Garbage truck!" he yelled, and gleefully jumped out of bed, dragging a drowsy and more than annoyed cat with him. "Dog, I need my sleep," Cat growled. Dog simply ignored him. "Garbage truck! Garbage truck! Garbage truck!" He ran down the street and sped past the Greasers. This chase went on for about 5 minutes, with the usual goofiness of Cat bumping himself off of objects, yelling, "My body! My body! My body! Ow! Ouch!" etc. Dog kept running as the garbage truck safely drove over some train tracks. He followed after, but suddenly there was a train whistle and a loud screech. Cat and Dog couldn't get out of the way in time. The Greasers watched with a look of terror and disgust. Both Cliff and Luke doubled over and vomited, while Shriek began sobbing uncontrollably. Out of the blue, a huge flock of crows dove down and began feasting on CatDog's recently deceased corpse. The screen started showing graphic snapshots of the birds ripping apart CatDog's remains, while Freebird by Leonard Skinner played. This continued for the rest of the episode. the images getting more detailed and very gruesome. Then the ending credits rolled. Just plain white letters scrolling down a black background. I tried ejecting the DVD, but the player didn't seem to want to open. When it finally came out, it was partially melted and had deep scratches on the bottom. I tried to pick up the disc, but it was burning hot. I freaked out and threw it in the trash. I still have nightmares about this episode. Sometimes I dream about the face from the static. Sometimes I see it at night when I'm trying to sleep, just out of the corner of my eye. It's always brief, but I can always feel it watching me.